Get your pen and paper ready. You're going to need it for this. This is going to be really super powerful. I'm going to be taking you through a training of energy management to help reduce your stress levels. So this is like, instead of time management, this is about managing your energy, which I feel is so important right now in today's world, with a lot of us feeling so drained mentally and feeling like the life is getting sucked out of us. It's so hard to do the things that you love, to really feel fulfilled in life, to feel happy, to feel content, to feel joy, if your energy levels are low and you're feeling like you're just surviving. So let's learn how we can manage our energy levels so that we can reduce stress in our life. I want to start off first with some powerful questions to ask yourself when you feel you are being drained of energy mentally. I am a massive fan and a believer of asking yourself good quality questions, because when we are in this autopilot, in this survival mode, just surviving to get to the next day or just surviving to get to our next paycheck, we don't really stop and actually think and question why we are thinking the things that we are thinking, or why we do the things that we do. We just do them because we're just programmed to do it. So when we ask ourselves good quality questions, then we can actually really think, oh, why am I doing this? What's actually really going on? And we can be more mindful and really listen to what our body and our mind actually really wants, rather than what it's just been programmed to do in survival mode. The first one, ask yourself, where can I best spend my energy today? If you feel, I love time management and having a calendar and a schedule and everything is great. It works. But if you feel like it's you're needing something else rather than time management, you want to focus on energy management instead, have a go at asking yourself, where can I best spend my energy today? Think of the things that you do in your day or your week or your life in general, and where can you best spend it that's going to fill you up and make you feel good and not leave you feel drained at the end of the day. Next one is, why do I have such a hard time saying no? Ooh, where are all my people pleasers at? How draining is that though, being a people pleaser and not being able to say no? It is really, really draining, and it is really, really tough. So ask yourself, why do you have such a hard time of saying no? Why is it that you can't say no if someone says, hey, do you want to help out with this or help out with that? Or can you spare me a couple of hours over the weekend to help me out with this? And you know that if you do that, you're going to react, you're going to explode, it's going to be way too much. But then you find it so hard to say no because you don't want to let them down. You don't want to feel like you are a horrible person, and you make up these stories in your mind that, they're not going to like me, they're not going to be my friend, oh, I'm family, I'm their friend. Friends do things for each other, they help each other out, but not at the expense of your own inner peace. It is so important to protect your own inner peace. That is not selfish to do that. That is a very selfless thing, to protect your own inner peace and be able to say no if you are needing to say no. And then the next thing is, what would happen if I did say no? Quite often we can, think the worst of everything, it's going to be so bad, it's going to be horrible, oh no. But what would actually happen if I did say no? Is it really going to be that bad if I said no to helping Tracy move house for 5 hours on Saturday, even though I really don't want to do that? Well, what will happen? What will she do? She'll just figure it out. She'll find someone else. Because if you weren't even there, if you weren't even in the country, if you were, you literally couldn't be there for a really good reason, then they will just figure it out without you. It's the same as your workplace as well. When you feel like, oh, we're short staffed at the moment, but I really need to take this day off. I really want to go and leave. Oh, they're not going to be able to cope without me or anything like that. Have they ever coped without you? Have they ever been short staffed before and coped? Workplaces know what to do and how to cope and how to manage when they are short staffed, or when things go wrong, or things are not going to plan or anything like that. It's just what happens. And I say this in the most loving way possible, that you are replaceable in your job. As much as you think that everything will fall apart if you take a day off, or you take a holiday or a vacation, or take that annual leave, or you take that sick leave, the whole workplace is going to fall apart, it's going to burn down. It's actually not, well, it might. Hey, it might, but it's actually not as bad as what you think it's going to be. They're going to be okay without you. They really are. They will manage. It's not going to be the end of the world if you go and do those things that you want to do. Go on that holiday, go on that vacation, do what you need to do. The world's going to still keep ticking over. Your workplace is still going to keep going. They're going to figure out a way. They'll find out how to do it without you. So as much as I know, I hear people say, I'm the only person that can do this job, I'm the only person that, it's like, well, what if you broke both your legs and broke both your arms? There's got to be a backup. You can't just be the only one person in the whole entire world, otherwise their workplace is going, the business is going to close. They're going to figure it out. Be okay if you do say no. Next one, where do I need help from somebody? Being able to ask for help is actually really, really powerful to be able to do that. And it's a sign of strength, not a sign of weakness. Where do you need to ask someone for help? Do you need help with your kids? Do you need to do time swapping with another mum, where you swap time 2 hours a week with each other's kids? Do you need to ask your neighbor for help? Do you need to go and ask somebody who can ask somebody, because you might be scared to ask, but if you do it through the grapevine, then someone will be able to find someone who can help you? What do you need to do to get help for your situation that you're in at the moment, so that you can take that load off, so that you can just breathe and do things for you and live the life you want to? Because I'm telling you now, when you're 80, 90 years old on your deathbed, you're going to look back on your life, and then you're going to really be able to see things so clearly, like, man, why did I really do all of those things, with the fears that I wasn't good enough, I had to do this, and I had, that's really when you look back on things. We have time now to change that. We don't need to get to 90 years old, or being told that we have, months left to live for whatever reason. Who knows what could happen? We want to be able to be in control and change it now. So where do you need to have help from somebody? And the thing is that people actually like helping each other. It actually makes them feel good. It makes them feel needed, and it builds their self-worth up. And they can also say no if they don't want to help. And if it's draining their energy, they can say no as well. So that's up to them to say no. But where in life are you needing help right now? Where do you need help, just so that you can get that half an hour a week of time, so that you can do that thing that you need to get done? Another one, what do I need to do in order to own my energy? This is your energy in your hands here, right? If you take your energy and place it in the hands of somebody else and say, here you go, you are responsible for it, you're always going to be met with disappointment and frustration and anger and a lot of pain. So don't put your energy in the hands of other people and expect them to handle it with care and, You've got to take responsibility and ownership of your own energy yourself. Other people are not going to be able to do it for you. It is up to us individually to own it and be like, okay, what can I do? What is in my control? Which is one of the next ones. Don't expect other people to do it for you because they will disappoint you and it's going to be frustrating. How can I take responsibility in this situation? So that's being able to be in control and responsible for your time and your energy in your life, not leaving it up to somebody else to do it for you. What is in my control? There are things that we can control and things that we can't control. And if you always are focusing on what you can't control, like the weather, other people, and you're trying to change the weather and you're trying to change other people and you're getting frustrated, well, just keep getting frustrated because that's exactly what's going to keep happening because those are things you can't change. Just focus on what is in your control. I like to say, if you can't change it, oh, then don't worry about it because you can't change it. But if you can change it, then do it. It just seems so simple, right? Because sometimes it is, and we can overcomplicate it like, oh, no, so much, so much. No, it's simple. If you can't change it, don't worry about it. It's not in your control. If you can, go and change it. Do what you need to do. What do you need to do to change what is in your control? Focus on that because you can change it and it is in your control. And then last one, what can I prioritize today? Instead of, I have no time, I have no energy, I can't do this, can't do that. It's a matter of priorities. What can I prioritize today? What is a top priority or something that I need done today? Can something else wait till tomorrow? Can this wait till tomorrow? Can, kind of think about it instead of just, oh, I have to do this. Oh, I should. You should all over yourself. I should do this. I should do that. Just think, what can I prioritize today? Instead of getting to the end of the day and being like, it's midnight. I'm not in bed. I'm still cleaning the house. That can wait. That can wait. Look after you. Look after yourself. You are important. When you protect your energy and treat it like gold, you feel your best. And when you feel your best, more gets done and your self-worth builds because you are seeing progress. And it's progress that equals happiness. When a human sees progress, that's when they are happy. Think of it like when somebody's going to the gym and they see muscles, that's when they're happy. When somebody is trying to lose weight and they see the number go down on the scales, that's when they're happy. They're not happy in that phase where it's not happening and they're not seeing progress or feeling progress, that's tough. That's really tough because you're putting in work where you have no evidence of it working yet. But when you see that progress, that's happiness. So if you protect your energy, you get to feel your best and more is going to get done. You're not going to get more done coming from a place of exhaustion and burnout and frustration and anger and resentment and hatefulness and bitterness. You may feel like that's how you get more done because you're go, 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 always on the go, but you don't get as much done in a way that's fulfilling. When you feel your best and you feel good about what you're doing, that's when you see progress, but you've got to protect and take ownership of your energy in order to get there. So it's a flow and effect. So when you invest into yourself, the results from that go into every other area in life as well. Imagine if for the next 12 months, you focused on your well-being, your health, your energy, your mindset, just yourself. Imagine for the next 12 months, you put your airplane mask on first before you put other people's airplane masks on first. You put your own one on, then you helped your kids. Put your own one on, then you helped your mum. You put your own one on, then you helped your husband. Put your own one on, and you did that. Where would you be 12 months from now? And what would all your other areas in life look like? So if 12 months from now, you invested in yourself, and you felt amazing, you felt happy, you felt fulfilled, that would also affect the way you spend money, your finances. It would affect your health, your mental health, physical health, your emotional health. It would affect your relationship with your partner, with your husband, with your friends, with your family, with your kids, with your co-workers. It would just flow on to all your other areas of life as well. The way you get up in the morning, the food that you eat, the way that you dress, the way that you view yourself, everything is all a flow on effect. If you work on even just one area of your own well-being and energy, it can really change every other area in your life as well, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. If you protect yourself and guard your mind and guard your energy like it is gold. Say no to all that doesn't serve you and yes to all that does, and you'll be a fulfilled human. So the reason why we can't just say no to, I can't just tell everybody, all right, you all need to say no to everything I say no to, because we're all so different. There are things that serve us and things that don't serve us. So this weekend, for example, if, a family member needs help or something like that, or a friend needs help, and I'm feeling really good and fulfilled at the moment, and I'm like, look, things are looking on track. I really want to help someone right now. And then someone says, help me. I'm like, yes, I want to help you, because that's going to make me feel good and that's going to serve me and serve them as well. But if I'm feeling so drained mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, whatever, I'm just getting by, just holding on by a thread, and somebody says, help me. Oh, I've got to say no. I've got to say no. I'll figure it out. If I say yes, that may be that little thread that's going to snap, and who knows what could happen, what could break. So know what does serve you and what doesn't serve you. It's different in every situation. Somebody saying yes to something may be really good and really beneficial for them at that moment where they're at. But somebody else saying yes to that same thing is going to be detrimental to them and is going to break them. So it depends where you're at with every situation, whatever phase you're in life at the moment, with your work, with your business, with your relationships, family, marriage, kids, whatever. Just be mindful and aware of, do I have the capacity right now for this, to take this on? Because, there are some things, like, just say that a mum had a baby a few days ago, right? We don't go to that mum and say, oh, can you please, help me move my house? Can you help me cook? Can you come to this event? Can you come and do this? Can you come and, like, we've got a 3-day thing going on. Like, we're like, no, we don't do that to a mum that's just had a baby 3 days ago. We kind of know that. Some people might still ask, but we kind of know that because they've just had this significant life event happen, or if somebody's had a death in the family, we kind of know, okay, I'm not going to put a lot on their plate or expect them to do a lot or anything like that. But it's also up to them as well to be able to say no and to protect their energy. We've all got to take ownership and protect our own energy. But in saying that, every person's different, right? Everyone deals with things in different ways, and there's no right or wrong. But 3 days after I had Isabella, after I had my daughter, I was out and about again, and I just did everything that I did before. Still went on date nights, went to the, dinner with hubby, movies, and everything like that. I just kind of went back to how it was almost before, just slowly getting into my exercise routine, not doing exactly what I did before, but slowly easing into that. But still, nothing much really changed. I still did the things that I did before having kids. Straight after, days after I had my daughter, I got straight back into it again, which means that if, someone might have said, hey, do you want to come to, like, a party? And my daughter was a week old, I would have said, yes, sweet, I'll bring my baby, because that was okay with where I was at life. But if another mum is really wanting that 40 days at home of just being at home and not going anywhere, or they view things differently or anything, then that's totally fine. That's where they are at. You can't get it wrong, because it goes to where you are at. And where we can get drained is when we think that we should be doing something, even though it feels so out of alignment to who we truly are and what we want to do. But we think we should be doing it. We have to be this. Our body has to look like that. We have to be this way. We have to be doing this. We're this age, so we have to be doing this by this age. Otherwise, and we put all these expectations on ourselves, and we wonder why we're so unfulfilled and stressed all the time. So the main thing of this is, whatever serves you, whatever doesn't serve you, wherever you are at in your life, do it to the best of your circumstances and where you feel your limit is of how much you can take on. Don't compare it to somebody else. Oh, Susan can take on so much more than me. She's better than me. Not necessarily. You don't know what Susan does. She may cry herself to sleep at night because she takes on so much stuff and feels like she has to. And that's her view of supermom or superwoman, is, having 10 jobs at once. That makes you feel good. Whereas someone else is like, no, just not having a job at all, or having one job, or doing this is how I feel like I'm superwoman. It's all different. And you've really got to just adjust it to whatever suits you, instead of what you think you have to do or what somebody else is doing. Time and energy is a matter of priority. So we want to learn how to prioritize things that grow us, not drain us, by making time for it and finding out a way. So I've just listed a few things for an example here that, you may have in your life right now, or someone in the world definitely has this all going on, either weekly, fortnightly, monthly, whatever. Let's just use weekly for an example here. So we've got clean the bathroom, a date night, exercise, go to bed an hour earlier, 5-minute breaks, and then we've got work. So during the 7-day period, the week coming up, let's say that this person here has these things going on, and then they still want to fill their cup up and they still want to feel fulfilled, and they've had a significant life event happen or something like that, but then 2 weeks later they are needing their energy because they are, I don't know, speaking on stage or something like that. So they need to make sure that they get through this significant life event. Maybe it's a funeral, a wedding, whatever. What can they do here with this list of things? How can they prioritize themselves so that in 2 weeks' time they can go and speak on stage and still have their energy come across to their clients as, energy that's going to be of service of people, rather than energy that's drained and, not looking after themselves. So maybe if they need to clean the bathroom, they might get somebody else to do it for them. Maybe they might pay a cleaner. Imagine if you paid a cleaner 2 hours a week, for example, $50 a week. What would those 2 hours allow you to do? Even though you can clean the bathroom yourself, you're not lazy if you don't clean the bathroom, but imagine the energy you could create knowing that you don't need to clean that bathroom every week. Just imagine that. This is a bit of time, money, energy kind of managing here. But just imagine that $50 a week goes to a cleaner, 2 hours, they clean your house for you and you don't have to do it. How would that make you feel? What would that create for you in your being if you knew that you didn't have to clean? You just had to, do a few dishes here and there, and it was kind of like you didn't really have to think about cleaning. How would you be able to build a business? How would that affect your relationship, your marriage, the way you show up to your kids? It would be different, wouldn't it? A date night. if your marriage at the moment is like, we haven't had a date night in a year or 2 years, and you're really feeling like you're drifting apart, then that's going to be something that's going to be a priority, investing in your marriage. You could look at how much, time you have over the week. Maybe it's just literally half an hour sitting outside on the grass together, eating an ice cream or something, or eating dinner together and just talking. Or you could go out to the movies or dinner or whatever, but it could just be alone time just for that half an hour. Maybe that's what you are needing so that you can also have your marriage together and not have it fall apart during this time. Exercise. So if this person is going to be speaking in 2 weeks' time and they need good energy, I would say that exercise is going to need to be a priority for them. What they could do and what I do for my exercise, I'll give you an example of what I do, what works for me, is that I, at the moment, currently do YouTube workouts. So I put on a strength workout or a HIIT workout or something like that for half an hour, and I do it 5 times a week, so Monday to Friday. But I also allow a day or two if I have a really full-on week and I maybe get 4 in, then I'm like, cool, I'm still really happy with 4 workouts a week. Or if it's really, really, it's occasional, but there's just a big significant event or a lot going on, then I might just do 3 workouts, and that still is good. I'm still happy with that. So I allow for those kind of 2 extra days just in case. But by the end of the week, I know that I've done usually 5 workouts, maybe 4, 5, and I feel good. My energy's like, I feel amazing. I'm so glad that I did that. That was time well worth it and well invested into it, because I feel good from that. That fills my cup up. That wasn't draining. That was something that makes me feel good, because I like the way that my body looks and my body feels when I exercise. So then I'm more confident. So then when I am, doing other things in life, I'm feeling good because of my exercise. So that would be something that's a priority. And also, we make time for things that we prioritize. So I actually used to exercise more when I worked more hours and worked all these jobs and everything like that. I would exercise a lot more. And now I'm a mum at home and I have more time, but I actually exercise less than what I did then. So it doesn't matter what you've got going on. Some people still make time to go to the gym and they work 12-hour days, and they're like, gym's important to me. I need to look good. I need to build my muscles. I need to feel good. So they will go to the gym before or after work because it's important to them. They value it and they prioritize it. So exercise, prioritizing exercise, I would say, is going to be something that is worth doing for your physical and your mental health as well, with how you feel, how your body looks, how your muscles look, and everything like that when you do exercise. Go to bed 1 hour earlier. If you go to bed that 1 hour earlier, think about when you wake up the next day, how you feel just that extra hour earlier. And if you find it hard to go to bed that 1 hour earlier, what stops you from going to bed? I know kids wake up and stuff like that. Some things may be out of our control and you do the best that you can. But what if you went to bed at 8 o'clock instead of 11 o'clock or whatever? How would you feel? You'd probably feel pretty good. So I would say that would be a good investment to do that. Going to bed an hour earlier instead of cleaning the house, cleaning the bathroom at 11 o'clock at night, doing all that and everything, that can wait. Oh, no, you've got the cleaner, remember? The cleaner's coming in 2 hours a week to clean your bathroom, so you can go to bed an hour earlier. 5-minute breaks. So these are just really short little breaks throughout the day from your job, from what you do, from being a mum, just going outside, sitting out in the sunshine. You got to think of it like we all go to the toilet every day. So we all have breaks. We all go to the toilet for however long, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. 3 times a day, whatever it is. Maybe the kids follow us or whatever, and we close the door, but we still have that short little alone time, as short as it is. So we can actually make it happen. It's just finding ways and figuring it out. How can I do this? What do I have to do to get these 5-minute breaks? Because when we get those 5-minute breaks, we can do deep breaths, we can do some mindfulness, we can really just breathe and just actually be aware of what's going on and think, what does my body need right now? What does my mind need? What am I needing to really help me feel good in this moment? 5-minute breaks are really quick and easy to do. So I'd say that that would be something that's good to do, that's going to fill your cup up. And work, that's, your job, your 9 to 5 job, your business, your mum life, whatever it is, that is something that you can look over as well. So what I mean by that is, let's say that you are currently working 80 hours a week, really, really long hours. You've got to think, if it is draining you and really, okay, of course, if you work 80 hours a week, you're not going to have much time. I was going to say, if you have 80 hours and you're still doing the things you love, I mean, you could, but that's really long hours, and that doesn't leave you much time left to do the things you love and to really live a more fulfilled life, because you are a bit more restricted. But let's say that you are working 80 hours a week. It's not working for you. It's draining you, but you feel like you have to do it because you need the money. Really think about, okay, if I cut down to even 70 hours a week, 70 hours, and had that 10 hours there, if I lost that 10 hours of income, whatever it is, $200 a week, however much money you're getting for that 10 hours a week. So say you were to have $200 a week less income, but then you were to spend that time doing the things you love, that can actually help you generate more money, because when you feel good, you look for more ways of how you can make money without spending so much time. I'll say that again because it might be a little bit hard to maybe get your head around. If you are somebody who works really, really long hours and you have not like a pattern, a behavior, you just have a life of 12, 13, 14-hour days, 5, 6, 7 days a week, whatever it is, and you feel like that's kind of the only way to get by and to make lots of money to pay for everything. Imagine if you did cut your hours down 10 hours a week, say 5, 10, 15, 20 hours a week, whatever you cut down. That money lost, is it really a loss or is it really a gain? Because what you could do with those extra hours for you, as long as you spend it wisely, of course, because you can just waste it and do things that drain you, and then you're kind of like back to square one again. But imagine if you used those hours and treated them as so precious, and you did things that you love, you invested in yourself, maybe you like massages and, going and doing yoga and stuff that makes you feel good. The mind, the energy, the being of a person who feels good is somebody who's going to look for more opportunities of how to make money without needing to work those 14-hour days. So it means that right now you may see that there's no other way other than working 12 hours a day until you retire, and there's nothing else I can do, because you may have a huge mortgage, or you may, have a lot of bills and everything, and you need that income coming in. Can you see another way that would that work for you? I know right now you may not see it, and it might be really, really hard, cutting work down, and you do have to have a bit of belief that it's going to work, because if you don't believe it's going to work, and you don't have that faith and that hope that everything's going to be okay and your bills will still get paid, you'll still have food on your table, you still have a roof over your head, then you're not going to be able to go through with it. If you have the fear like, I can't let go of this money. See if you can sit with it for a little bit. You may know somebody in your life that probably is like this, always, always, always at work all the time. What would you be able to do with those extra hours? How would you be able to invest in yourself? How would you be able to have more of a clearer mind and feel good about yourself? And when you feel good about yourself, how would you then live life? How does somebody live life who feels good about themselves, who has high self-worth, who has confidence? They look for opportunities. They look for other ways to make money. And then you make more money, and then you have more time, and you have time and money. It really is a flow-on effect. So the idea of this slide here is I just wanted to show you in your week, your fortnight, your month, however you plan, really think about how can you prioritize things? How can you shift things around that's going to fill your cup up and keep your energy full and make you feeling good? Where do you need to ask for help? Where do you need to delegate tasks out to other people? What do you need to do in order to put your own airplane mask on first before other people's airplane masks go on? Now, I love this one. It can be so hard when you want to protect your energy, you want to put in boundaries, you want to do all the right things, but then you're scared of what other people are going to say about you. What if Susan judges me? What if Bob disowns me? What if Frank rejects me? What if all of the what ifs all of the time? I've got some phrases that you can think of and be mindful of when explaining your situation to others, because people are not going to understand you when you're protecting your energy. Not everyone is. Sarah's going to be like, what? Why are you doing that? Like, are you selfish? Don't you have kids to look after? Why are you doing that? You're going to get questioned, and you're not going to be, the biggest. You're not going to have fans. You're not going to have people that are going to maybe agree with you or anything like that, but it is your life. And if you live to please everybody else, you already know that that's draining. People pleasing is draining. So here are some things that you can say to people when somebody does ask you for help or something, and you really just you don't want to, or you want to think of another way instead around it, and you want to be assertive and put boundaries in. You don't have to say this in a way that's hateful or angry towards them. You can say it in a way that is putting good boundaries in and being assertive. I love the word assertive because it is speaking your truth in a kind but strong and powerful way. Think of like a leader. A good leader leads people in a strong and powerful way and tells you how it is and puts you in your place and is like, come on, like, stop mucking around. We've got to get going. But they're also kind and gentle at the same time with their approach, and they're not nasty or mean about it. Here are some things and some ideas that you can write down if it may be helpful for you. I'm sorry I don't have the capacity for that at the moment. It's not a priority for me right now. Can we do Tuesday instead? So if somebody asks you, can we meet up or anything tomorrow, and it's Thursday, and you're like, my day's so packed, and you are just like, there's no way, but you're trying to force it and trying to make it work, and you're going to resent them for asking you to meet up, even though there's nothing wrong with them asking you to meet up. They have every right to ask you the question. So this is where you need to own your power and take responsibility of your energy in your life here. Maybe you just ask, can we do another day instead? Look at your calendar. Tuesday's free. Can we do Tuesday instead? Figure out another day or a time where you can do that thing together that's going to work for both of you, where you're going to feel good about it and not feel resentful or resentment to the other person. Maybe the time just needs to be shorter. Can we do 30 minutes instead of 60 minutes? Maybe you have a really short time frame in between, like your breaks at work or in between meetings or bookings or appointments or anything like that. And you're like, oh, if we do 60 minutes, that's really going to be pushing it. I'm going to feel stressed thinking about it. I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm going to be like having anxiety thinking about it. Why not ask to do 30 minutes instead? Think of the how. How can I? How can I? What can I do? Ask yourself good quality questions. You don't just have to settle for the first thing, the first answer. Yep, it's done. Oh, there's no way out of it. I'm locked into a contract. No, you can negotiate. You can ask. Ask them if you can do a shorter amount of time instead, if that works better. Next one, I can do it, but I'm going to need some help. Are you able to please watch my daughter or know someone who can during the first hour? So, yeah, going back to that, asking for help again, it's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength, being able to ask for help. People in general love helping others out. We love to help people out. We love it when we have the capacity and the mental capacity in our mind to take it on. We love helping people out because we feel good about it. It seems like we help other people because of them, because we are good people. But in a way, we do it because of how we feel, not because of them getting something out of it. It's because it's how it makes us feel. And it sounds a bit selfish, right? But we love helping people because it makes us feel good. So yeah, it's about us. That's okay. We can feel good helping other people. That's fine. So yeah, negotiate. If you need someone to look after your children or ask someone, do you know anyone who can help during the first hour? And then I can help, just ask, figure it out. And do you have any ideas on how I can do this before Sunday? So yeah, just asking, if it's something that you're not sure, how can I do it? Ask, do you know how I can how can I do this before Sunday rather than trying to figure it out on your own? Just ask, what do you mean by that? That is a really simple thing to ask somebody. But you know what? When it comes to communication, sometimes us humans can really get it wrong and we can communicate so poorly. We think that Susan said that, oh, can we meet up at Thursday 12:30? And then when we get annoyed at Susan because why would she do that? Oh, but she didn't say Thursday 12:30. She said Tuesday 12:30 and you heard her wrong. So ask, did you say Thursday at 12:30? Is that what you said? Oh no, I said Tuesday. Oh, sorry, my bad. I got it wrong. There you go. You don't need to just ask. What do you mean? Well, help me understand. I'm still unsure about that. Get clarity on it before assuming. Assume is assume. Assume makes an ass out of you and me. That's what happens when you assume. So just ask if you need to get clarity. No, sorry, I'm not able to make it. Hey, maybe sometimes you just need to say, sorry, I can't make it. I'm not able to make it. They can ask why, or why can't you make it? I've got something else on. I'm busy that day. I'm working that day. Just say whatever you want. This is something that I used to really, really struggle with before I did all my personal development and mindset work that I did. If people said no to me, I would argue with them like really harshly. Like I would take it so personally. What do you mean you said no to me? Like, no, you have to say yes. You have to. That's rude if you're saying no to me. How dare you? And I would attack them because I did not like it when I was told no and I could not take no for an answer. And it was my ego was just so up in the clouds, just so above me, and it just was controlling my life. And it was so stressful, and my gut health issues were terrible when I would fight people all hours of the night if they'd say no, or convince them to come to my birthday, convince them to like me, convince them to approve me, convince them to accept my lifestyle. It was so draining. But now, if somebody says no to me, I'm okay with it. If they say no and I've got to go walk my elephant, okay, go walk your elephant. I know that sounds like a bit of a crazy excuse, but sure, whatever. I'll figure it out. Like if you don't do it or don't come and then no one's there and I'm on my own, right, well, then I'm on my own and I'll figure something else out. I'll have another plan. Like that's up to me to do. I've got to take responsibility of what happens if, it doesn't go to plan. That's not up to you. I take responsibility for myself. You take responsibility for yourself. Can we please reschedule? It's a good question to be able to ask. Can we just reschedule for another time? I guess instead of if you feel like you can't make it, instead of not showing up, and yeah, instead of not showing up, maybe you just need to reschedule. I mean, there's always going to be times in life. We've all had people that have blocked us, ghosted us, haven't showed up. You're like, where are you? You said you were going to come, and what? I haven't heard from you or anything like that. That's not our responsibility to deal with what's going on with them at the moment. It's, avoidance is sometimes easier for people to do, is to avoid and not deal with it because it's too uncomfortable to bring it out to the light and have to deal with what's going on. So if it's for you and you know that it's something that you can't make, just ask, can we reschedule? Or is there another day that we can do instead? Just negotiate again. Ask with another day that they can do that you can both make an agreement on. And is it okay to think about it for a few days first? That's a really good one. Sometimes you just need time to think. You just need to think about it for a few days. And I know if somebody says that to me, I'm like, great. How long do you need? A week. Cool. 3 days. Cool. Just so I know, because sometimes, if we say, I'll think about it, and then weeks go by, months go by, years go by, and it's like, kind of never really get back to each other. So I like to just, if someone says that to me, if I can think about it, sure. Can I help you with anything that you need to think about? Is there anything I can help for you to make a decision or anything? No? Okay, cool. Otherwise, ask me any questions that you need to. In a few days, by Friday, is it enough time? Yep, sure, cool. I'll talk to you on Friday so that you have a date set. That's a really good thing to do if you need to think about it for a few days. I'll let you know by Saturday. Let me think about it by Monday and I'll let you know by Monday. Or remind me on Monday. Can you remind me on Monday? Because I'll probably forget. You can just say, if you're somebody who will probably forget and needs a reminder, hey, can you remind me on Monday? Follow up with me on Monday. See how I am on Monday. I'll make a decision by then. Final slide. Other people's responses and energy are not your responsibility. That's what happens if you take on other people's energy and you think that it's your responsibility to take it on. And yeah, we've all got to take ownership of our own ourselves and our lives. That's not to say as well, because that's not to say in a way that you can just do and treat people how you please and be nasty to them and horrible to them and just say, well, your response is on you, like how you react to it, that's on you. We still have to take ownership of how we treat people as well. Just got to clarify that as well, because I know in the past, before I did all my kind of inner healing work, I was really hurt and broken, and I would, as we've all done in the past, but I definitely own it, and I have said some horrible things to people, friends, family, partners, everything. I've said some horrible things to people, whether they've said it to me, whatever, it doesn't matter. I take responsibility and ownership that I have said some horrible things over time, and I can't just pass the blame onto people and say, well, that's up to you to not be upset over it, when I was the one that was nasty to them. We still have to own it if we have spoken to someone horribly or said some things, that was a bit out of line. We've got to own that as well. But if we are speaking our honest truth, being assertive, then how they respond is their responsibility. So the list of stuff that I said before, of when you say to somebody, no, sorry, I can't make it, or can we reschedule, if they get really angry about it and they just really don't deal well with you putting in boundaries or being assertive, that no, I can't do this, no, I'm not able to do this at the moment, it's too much for me, then that's their responsibility, and that's not up to you to take on their energy back to you of anger and resentment of you putting in this boundary and being assertive in the first place. Speak your truth. You have the right to speak your truth and be assertive to them and say how you feel about the situation. But if they don't take it well, then that's not up to you to take on. You don't need to, oh, okay, sorry, okay, I will do it. I will do it fine, because sometimes you can be like, okay, I will, because they're getting really angry. And then you do that thing and you're like, oh, you resent them because, should have still stood your ground and said no. But yeah, we've all just got to take responsibility of our own energy and our own lives. And when you set a boundary, if someone gets upset about it, it's more than good reason that the boundary needs to be set in the first place. So some people will be upset about you setting boundaries. They won't be able to take it very well. They will get angry. They will take it personally. They'll think it's an attack on them when all you're just doing is thinking of yourself and your own inner peace and energy, and it's not to do with theirs. You're trying to protect yours. So if they're getting upset over a boundary put in, then that's just good reason that boundary needs to be set in the first place. Maybe some people just need to learn that boundaries are healthy to put them in, and maybe they're not used to it. And that comes to the last part. We all have had various upbringings and we've been raised with different values, and that's okay. So some people have been raised to be told, yes, they can have anything they want. They were the child that got the pony, that got the best birthday parties with all of the bouncy castles and all of the, rainbow toys and colors in the best room. And they said to mum and dad, like, can I have this? Can I have a car? Can I have whatever? And they said yes, 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 yes to everything, which means that when they're an adult and they realize that the life doesn't work like that, you don't get everything in life as an adult that you want to, like you might have been grown up to have as a kid. That can be really hard for some people to really get their head around, like, how dare you say no to me? Like, what? Like, are you serious? Why did you say no to me? And they can get really quite defensive because they're just used to having an upbringing. Their parents valued saying yes, and their way of showing love to their kids was saying yes to them and allowing them to have whatever they wanted. And when we make people wrong for that, I know it can be easy to judge them and say, you're wrong, you were spoiled, you were this, you were that, and place judgment on them, even though we hate it when people place judgment on ourselves. All that is just coming from a place of we don't understand. When we judge someone or something, it's just we don't understand it, we don't get it. And that's all that is. Other people may have been brought up in an upbringing where they were always told no all the time. They couldn't have anything they wanted, which means that as adults, if you're somebody that was always told no, then you probably find it hard to actually dream or have a vision or goals in life because you're always told no. So maybe you think of that as you can't have the things you want because it's always going to be a no. And then that can be hard to dream and have visions because of that. Yeah. So all different upbringings, everyone's all different. We all have values that are different. We don't need to agree with other people's values. We don't need to like their upbringings. We don't need to celebrate their upbringing or the way that they live or what they do or their lifestyle. We don't have to do that, but we can still just be okay with it. Okay, well, that's you. I don't have to do that. That's not me. That's your life, but I'm still going to be okay with myself. What you do over here with your life and how you have your values and your everything that's going on with you, I can still be okay with myself here. I don't need you to do or be a certain way or have anything in place for me to feel okay. I can still feel okay with myself as I am right now in this very moment. I don't need anything to be done in order to feel that I am okay and I'm enough as I am right now. So it's another really good, powerful thing is ask yourself this question. What if I was just to feel okay, just as I am right now? And I didn't need things to be a certain way or anything to happen, and I could feel okay. How would that change my life? What could I create for my life if I was okay? And I didn't need to be a certain way. I didn't need to look like this. I didn't need to have my body like that. I could just be okay as I am now. Really, really powerful question to ask. Awesome. I'm all done. Energy management, far out. Oh, what a presentation this has been. I feel this is so, so good to learn about. I've really enjoyed taking you through this. I would love to know, give me some feedback. What did you write down about this? What did you journal? What were your main key points and takeaways from learning about managing your energy and being able to help reduce stress levels? What did you get out of it? I would love to know. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you a lot. Bye.